Hi, it's a little windy, so don't mind my hair. We're going to do some numbers today, and we have practiced all of our numbers from 1 to 10. My cards today are 1 to 9, only because I want to show you the tricks on how to make your numbers. We've talked about it, but this again, it'll help your parents know the different ways that we practice, the sayings that we say, just ways to make it easier for you and them. And that way it's consistent, the way that I'm teaching, the way that they're helping you. There are some fancy numbers in here. We don't do fancy, remember that. And I'll show you some other tricks as we go. So our very first number is the number 1. And I'm going to try to hold it close enough because this is definitely a fancy one. And sometimes a fancy one has a line across the bottom. We're not making fancy ones. I want to see a straight line down. And our little saying is a straight line down is fun. Now that's what makes a 1. Okay, so that's the number 1. Then for number 2, we say around the track and go straight back. Toot toot. So it's kind of like on a train track. Number 3, we say around the tree, around the tree. That's the way you make a 3. You have to kind of pretend that there's a little tree in there and in there, and you're going around those trees to make that 3. 4 is a fancy one. We don't get fancy, but we do have to know that that's a 4. Our 4 is down, across, and down some more. That's the way you make a 4. Number 5, we say down, around, then you stop. Finish the 5 with a line on top. Hear the duck? Number 6, we make a line and then a loop. There are no tricks to make a 6. For number 7, we say across the sky and down from heaven. That's the way you make a 7. Now 8. We have a couple ways we make 8. Some of you already know 8s. Some of us struggle a little bit. They are a tricky letter. Oh, it's not a letter, it's a number. I said letter because my first trick is make an S and don't be late. Go back up to make an 8. So you can see you start with the letter S. So if you're a good S maker, you can change that right into the number 8. And if you're not quite there yet, that's okay too. You can make 2 circles, but make sure they touch in the middle. Otherwise, it just looks like 2 circles. So you want to make sure it looks like an 8. So again, it's make an S and don't be late. Go back up to make an 8. And number 9 is make a circle, then a line. That's the way you make a 9. And this one's a little tricky. It gives us a little hook. We can just make a straight line down. Let me make one real quick so that you can see. Okay, we say make a circle, then a line. That's the way you make a 9. And I like to say a C stroke. We've talked about that at school too, because if you make a C stroke, you start over in the right area and then a straight line down. You don't want them to look like lollipops. You don't want a circle and then a line underneath. You have to be really careful when you make this number. Okay, so now I'm going to show them to you real quick. Hold on one second. You have to see this. You want to be on camera? Say hello. These 2 are wanting me to feed them. They're pulling on my shirt. So if you hear them, that's what they're doing. Let me make sure I have this back in the right spot. Okay. So are you ready? I'm going to mix them up. I'm going to hold them up, and I want you to say what they are, and then I will say the right answer so that you can check yourself. Okay? Ready? Whoa, they're trying to take my paper. This is the number 6. This is the number, make sure you don't look at the fancy one, 4. 2. This is a fancy way. Sometimes there's a line on the bottom. We just make this guy. 1. Oh, I went the wrong way. Across the sky and down from heaven. 7. Come Remember 2 invisible trees in the middle. We go around them. 3, 8. We're going to go this guy. 9, 5. And that takes us back to 6. I better show you this real quick. Our 6 might look a little bit different from their 6. We don't have quite a curve up here. We really do just make a line and then a loop. There are no tricks to make a 6. Make your own cards, keep practicing. Have a good day.